Yesterday, the Presidential Press Unit, PPU, made a formal announcement to the public that the President had signed 19 bills passed by Parliament into law on July 15, 2024. Nonetheless, 2 bills, the National Commission for UNESCO Amendment Act 2024 and the Higher Education Students Financing Amendment Act 2024, were not signed. This has prompted mixed reactions among different MPs.
So where the President may not be convinced that maybe there is no sufficient funds, he can decide to return the bill for consideration. I think that's what they wanted.
Some of us had reservations because, first and foremost, under this scheme, students are supposed to complete their studies and pay back. And I don't think that within the ministry there can be capacity to follow up these students once they've completed their studies.
I would think at the district level, the LOC5, supposing he's given that opportunity, can he manage to recover? The answer is obvious. Is no, he will not manage. So let it stay where it was, and I think that's the best way out.
This is very unfortunate because as Parliament we shall be disadvantaged. So this equitable allocation of resources is what Ugandans want, and that's in the wisdom of Parliament. That's what Parliament looked at, that for the purposes of sharing the national cake, for the purposes of equity, for the purposes of even distribution of resources, especially in the area of education, which is lagging behind in this country, that equitable sharing of the loan fund or the loan scheme could be appropriate for all Ugandans.
On the contrary, the woman MP Tororo District, Sarah Opendi, seconded the President's return of the Education Financing Amendment Bill for consideration by Parliament for better results when finally signed into law.
Because we were actually debating on emotions. Somebody just came up and moved the motion and said, how many of you have benefited from this? So people were just basing on emotions other than really seriously looking at how the Higher Students Financing Board operates. But of course we must know that there are challenges. Not every district can benefit like the others because in some districts they don't have A-level schools. Some districts they don't have science laboratories. So how do you expect students to actually benefit from this loan scheme, which is specific to science students when a whole district does not have laboratories for students?
The Higher Education Students Financing Amendment Act 2024 was read twice and was expected to replace the quota system at district level for students at over 146 districts. The Deputy Chair Education Committee said that the Financing Board needs to welcome complaints, concerns and recommendations in order for the bill to be beneficial.
If most of our recommendations are taken by the board, it can perfect. You remember when we started with the UPE in 1997, it had a lot of loopholes, but we have been reviewing until it is now perfect. So in a way, our complaints have not been that it should get off, but has been that it must always improve in order to serve the very poor but bright. And in a way, it's not really a grant, it is a loan that somebody pays after he has acquired the qualification and after he has gotten the job.
He also gave his thoughts as to why repayments of the loans under this education scheme could be heard.
I don't deal in speculation because I'm not part of the High Financing Board. I was at policy level. But that complaint has been clear that the repayment is difficult. The repayment is difficult simply because after a student completing, he assumes he must first of all get employment before he services the loan. But what is important, that there is a capacity building of this person. He has the knowledge, and at any one time he will pay because it is a revolving fund.